Now, live from the Patriot Detroit Radio Complex, this is the John McCulloch Show.
It largely was an open secret, though, in all these circles, his behavior. And the reality is California is the biggest and most flush ATM for Democratic politics in this country. He stood at the center of that. Nancy Pelosi added her name to this list as well. She put out a very short statement on this. But the reality is most of the leaders of the Democratic Party are beholden to him, have been beholden to him, and she still is the leader of the House Democrats here. Why not get out and give an interview, give a press conference or something? They have personal relationships with Harvey Weinstein. So this is hip this week, no doubt, because this was not a secret.
Now, here's John.
And welcome into Open Mouth Friday here on the McCulloch Show on FM 101.5 and AM 1400, The Patriot. Glad you could join us for the fastest hour in local Detroit talk radio, where your host continues serving his life sentence in reality. Be advised, here all lives matter. There is no political correctness. There are no safe zones for the snowflakes. And where, if you can be triggered, you can be sure you're going to get triggered here. Welcome in, folks, and those of you who have not been listening for the last few weeks, we start the show at 5:30 on Friday, each Friday, so that we can carry Catholic high school football, which we are very proud to do. And that means that we start early, and that means that it's a good time to get your 2 cents in early in the broadcast, because we have a surge that comes at 6 when we have the influx of people who don't know that we start at 5:30. So if you have something that's on your mind, if you have something that you want to say about something you heard earlier in the week, if you think there's something that we've missed, now's the time to get it on. Our telephone number is 800-923-9385. That's 800-923-WDTK. I was pretty busy tossing things in all week long. I don't think I'm going to toss anything in this week, except that Media Matters has upped the ante. George Soros' organization is now really going after Fox News, really going after Sean Hannity, and really going after all conservative outlets anywhere, be they on the web, be they local radio or whatever. And it's something you need to be aware of. This egalitarian view of the world, they have already come out and said in a private meeting, which we got a transcript of, that that's what they're after, the egalitarian approach to the world and the one world, the whole schmear. So when you hear advertisers on any conservative outlet, be sure and support them, because they need it. And we need to show that threats from Media Matters, and there's been plenty of them, don't mean a thing. That we are the people who make this country run. We're the engine that runs the United States of America. Without the progressives, we would do even better. But since they're here, we got to deal with them. So keep in mind that that is a factor. And if you want more information on Media Matters, there's plenty of it available on the web. It's an insidious organization, and one which needs to be delegitimized, more so than they do themselves. So I'm going to open up the lines. Now's the best time to call, 800-923-9385. That's 800-923-WDTK. We also have our text feature open, which it is all the time, actually, and you can reach us there by going to your smartphone and using the feature on the app, the WDTK app, that says Text John McCulloch. That sends the message directly here into the studio to this screen, which I'm pointing to now for our people who are watching on Facebook Live, which you can do if you like. Just go to thepatriotdetroit.com, and there it is. And we do this each day. But where was I? Oh, yeah. And with the app, you can listen to all the Salem hosts. You'll hear them static-free and interference-free anywhere you go. McCulloch Minutes are there. The McCulloch Show is there. And, of course, the Text John McCulloch feature is there, as many of you have discovered already, as the texts have started to come in, as have the calls. So I want to see those lines light up and fill up. 800-923-9385. That's 800-923-WDTK. This is your show today, as it is each and every Friday, and you can go ahead and comment on anything except other hosts. That's a no-no unless, of course, I bring it up, and then it's fine. And we don't do garage sales and that kind of thing. We try to keep it clean because it is a family show. And basically the rule of the day is use your head. You're adults, and so, we're all adults here. and we know what we can do and what we can't do on radio waves. So, in that being said, let's get it going. 800-923-9385. That's 800-923-WDTK. Want to make sure that you miss the rush that's going to come at 6 o'clock, as it does each and every Friday during football season. So if you want to get in, now's the time. Okay, we're going to go first. We'll go in order of appearance. Let's see. Janet, Garden City, you're first here on Open Mouth Friday. Go ahead.
How you doing, John?
I'm doing well, thank you.
I love your show, and I love the McCulloch Minute. I think that you should actually talk to John Hannity, too, and get your McCulloch Minute replayed every night on Hannity's show. I think it would reach even more people, and it would hopefully open a few eyes. I think they should get rid of Mitch McConnell. He's not doing his job. He needs to go away.
If he were half a man, he'd step down.
It's just sickening, the stuff he said to get elected and to get put there and to stay there, and then he totally did a flip-flop. He's terrible. He needs to go. And of course, we're all worried and give our thoughts and prayers to all the people in the United States of all these disasters that have been going around. And everybody's worried, well, how are we going to fund this? How are we going to fund this? Because, of course, we want to stand by those people. The federal government writes thousands of checks a day. If they did, keep the change type thing like some banks do, of where if they have to pay a bill for $150, if they wrote that bill for the $150 and then round it up to, $151, what I mean, round up the change, and just put all the change into a fund only for disaster relief, that would fund everything and put it into an interest-bearing account.
Well, Janet, interest-bearing accounts are hard to come by lately. But what you're doing and what you're saying makes too much sense. And until the swamp is cleaned up, things that make good sense are not going to happen. And it's just something we got to face, unfortunately. But it's a great idea. I love it. But, they can't even balance a budget. They don't even know enough to come in and out of the rain. They can't even hide their hookers, for crying out loud. They're a bunch of bumbling idiots.
It's absolutely disgusting. And then to see people like Pelosi and other people just stand behind this and the little I like to call her the little Obama cheerleader. It's just disgusting. They ruined the country. He did exactly what he said he was going to do. That he said he was going to change America, and boy, did he ever.
Yeah, but Janet,
it's really, really sad.
Be confident. The Obama legacy, as he saw it, is now being unraveled. The Iran deal, the Obamacare deal, the 800 regulations that were strangling business that have been thrown out the window. He's got to be running around bouncing off walls at that mansion he's got about 2 blocks from the White House, because his legacy is being erased, and as well it should be. Janet, got to leave it there. Thank you so much for the call and for your kind comments, and have yourself a great weekend. And thank you for joining us here today on Open Mouth Friday. I have a question about Donald Trump's action on Obamacare today. I know he eliminated the subsidies. I know that's something everybody wanted to see go. But there's something wrong with what he did. And I don't know if he talked to anybody in the insurance business before he did it. But if you don't get rid of that regulation that says 85% of every dollar they take in has to go to paying claims and 15% is what they can use to fund their business, and you take away those subsidies, you don't take away the regulation. I'm sorry. Medicare for everybody, here we come. Those insurance companies are going to start dropping like flies. I don't care if you open up interstate competition or whatever you do. You keep that regulation on there, they're not going to be able to function without the subsidies. Can't happen. Mathematically impossible. So while I applaud Donald Trump's move, the president didn't think, or something, and somebody in there isn't thinking, because Obamacare is the law of the land, and much of it cannot be changed except by Congress. And they better get moving on it, or the whole system's going to fall apart, and we're going to all be on Medicare. if you don't believe me, check it out with somebody who's in the health insurance business. They'll tell you. It's true. Here's Bruce in Grosse Pointe Farms on the Patriot. Hey, Bruce.
Hey, John. Good evening. Beautiful evening, isn't it?
Sure is.
Yeah, perfect October weather. I'm telling you.
Till about 8 o'clock.
I love this. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I just what you were saying about the about that part of the regulation, the insurance thing. Can they go back and just go ahead and rescind that as well? Because I think that's probably where you're going to have to address this whole thing is piece by piece.
Well, yeah, except that the part that there's parts of it that are law and there are parts of it that are illegal mandates. The payment of those subsidies was an illegal mandate by President Obama. All President Trump did was bring it back into the line of law with the Constitution. And folks need to be aware that that's what this guy is doing. When he does these 800 regulations leaving and all this other stuff he's doing it all within the Constitution, which is a very conservative thing to do. So I'm getting a little tired of these people who keep saying Donald Trump is not a conservative. He may not be a Republican, and that's fine with me. The Republicans haven't shown me anything, neither have the Democrats, but the Republicans haven't either. But he's got to be careful that he doesn't do things by edict, as Obama did, and do things that are patently outside the Constitution. That law cannot be changed except constitutionally by the Congress. So we're stuck with it until they address it.
Right. Well, one thing I wanted to address, every time we have a mass shooting, the people come out for gun control and they cite the number of guns that are circulating in the country, right? Well, I started thinking about, what about all the knives in the country? People have, I'm sure the average American household typically has at least a dozen knives, which can be used as weapons. Okay, cars can be used on weapons. We have over 100 million cars on the road. John, this all boils down to intent. You can use any type of a tool you want for good or for bad. You can kill somebody with a hammer. You can kill somebody with a hatchet. You can go on and on. You can kill somebody with your fist. So this is just, to me, this whole thing is crazy. It's unbelievable.
I agree, Bruce, but that's the nature of the left. Remember, it's a mental disease. So that means that anything that comes out of the left will, in fact, have bits and pieces of insanity in it. And all you have to do is listen to C-SPAN for half an hour and watch what goes on in Congress, and you'll recognize why nothing ever happens in the United States except the lobbyists get their money, the congressmen who are taking money under the table get their money, mob gets their money. It's a swamp, and it's not going to be cleaned up overnight. Thanks for the call. I really appreciate it. It can't happen overnight. As I said in my McCulloch Minute, cesspool's a hard thing to clean. Ever tried to clean one, you know what I'm talking about. But it is such an incredible maze of criminal activity going on in Washington, D.C. right now, and I hate to have to say that. I hate to have to look people in the eye who are sincere, who are there to make a difference, and I hate to have to say that, but they know it. They know it when they get there. They can't say anything about it, or they'll be sent home, or they won't get anything done. The whole thing is like one big Harvey Weinstein scenario. It's just that corrupt and that crooked. 800-923-9385. That's 800-923-WDTK. Lines lit up as they usually do when we open up the program, and then all of a sudden we go through a couple of calls, and that's what you got to be careful. If you want to get in, and if you're a professional listener to the show, you'll know that when we take calls and then we end calls, that's the time to call. That's all the hinting I'm going to give tonight. 800-923-9385. That's 800-923-WDTK. Open Mouth Friday here on FM 101.5 and AM 1400. The Patriot. Dr. Richard Klein is a specially educated neuromuscular dentist with over 30 years' experience managing TMJ and sleep apnea disorders at the Michigan Head and Neck Institute. And Dr. Klein he's one of these people who never stops learning. He is constantly on the lookout via the web and via a special app he has on his smartphone for new information on pain management, on TMJ disorder, on obstructive sleep apnea. And because he's got all this information pouring in, he is sought out by the medical community, by Congress, and by so many other people to get that information. He teaches in medical school because people in medical school are now taking an interest in TMJ disorders and obstructive sleep apnea. But the neat thing is we've got him right here in Warren, and he's accessible to you. Go to tmjmichigan.com and look at the symptoms of TMJ and sleep apnea. And if you've got some of those symptoms, or you think you do, or maybe you think there's one that's related, then give them a call. All the information is right there at tmjmichigan.com for Dr. Richard Klein at the Michigan Head and Neck Institute, and you could get rid of whatever pain it is that's bothering you. tmjmichigan.com for Dr. Richard Klein. Please let him know John McCulloch sent you.
Now, on-time traffic and weather on the Patriot.
I-94 eastbound after West Grand Boulevard, accident left lane slow from Livernois. 15-mile eastbound after Mound, that accident cleared slow from Ryan. I-275 southbound at M14 and I-96 to Jeffries, an accident at the right shoulder. I-275 northbound ramp to I-96 westbound, an accident. M39 the Southfield southbound at Grand River, accident cleared. It's slow from the Lodge. I-75 southbound between Crooks and Rochester Road, stop and go travel there. 696 eastbound between Coolidge and Campbell Hilton, the left lane closed for construction. Traffic is slow from M10. Your weather forecast tonight: showers likely after 2 a.m., partly cloudy, a low around 56. Saturday, showers likely, cloudy with a high near 71. Saturday night, a chance of showers, cloudy, a low around 66. Right now, it's 69 degrees. We check traffic and weather 4 times an hour. I'm Kevin Sanderson on the Patriot, FM 101.5 and AM 1400.
Sewer backups, mold exclusions, matching, code upgrades, landlord-tenant issues. All of these things may be dealt with in your property insurance policy, and you may not even know it because you haven't read the small print. Azertech Public Adjusters, licensed by the state of Michigan, are there to help you get the most you can, the best settlement possible from your property insurance claim when you have one at your home or business. Azertech Public Adjusters, that's all they do. When you have a disaster at your home or business, the chances are, and we hope this is the case, that it's not something that happens to you all the time. And it can be overwhelming. And you may not think of all the things that you need to think of to get all you can out of the settlement. Azertech Public Adjusters do this every single day. They know where to go, they know the secrets, and they know how to deal with the insurance companies. You wouldn't go to court without an attorney. Don't go to your insurance company in a claim situation without Azertech Public Adjusters. Find out what they're all about at 855-CLAIM-55. That's 855-CLAIM-55 for Azertech Public Adjusters, and please let them know John McCulloch sent you.
This is Michael Medved. I'm here with Mike Stahl from Health Markets, helping folks find the right Medicare coverage. The news reports say that the rates might be going down.
The government projects the cost of Medicare plans will decrease this year. So you have to ask yourself, are you getting the best rate? Health Markets offers a free service with access to thousands of Medicare plans nationwide to help folks maximize their benefits and save money.
What is it people need to keep in mind?
Enrollment in the right plan is not automatic. With so many Medicare options, it can be confusing. My advice, don't go it alone. Get unbiased help to find a plan that may cost less and cover more with lower co-payments, more choices like dental and vision, and the freedom to choose your doctors. With the enrollment deadline only weeks away, it's important to act now. Our Health Markets Medicare assistance is free.
Thanks, Mike. This is Michael Medved for Health Markets.
For your free Medicare assistance, call 800-804-9934. That's 800-804-9934. 800-804-9934.
The John McCulloch Show is brought to you in part by Cruise Hearing Aid Services.
FM 101.5, AM 1400, The Patriot. Lynn in Southfield, I'm sorry we dropped you, and if you'll call back, we'll move you to the front of the line, assuming you can get through. This is Open Mouth Friday here on The Patriot, and we go now to John in Novi. John, go ahead.
Am I on the air, John?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Love your show so much I gave you a break for a week. Anyway, I was just going to comment on. I was going to ask you a question. Is that 85% executive order, or is 85% as it applies to Obamacare? That's mandated.
I believe it's in the law.
So he just can't do that with a stroke of a pen. I mean, he
can't.
could, a la Obama, but he's got too much respect for the Constitution to do it.
Yes, he does.
Okay, well, I think this is a tactic to throw this thing right back into Congress's lap and say, okay, wise guys, you deal with it. You know, if you think you're going to get me in a corner, as Mitch McConnell said, he might be new, President Trump is new to this game, but that doesn't mean he's a dummy. I think he's, anybody that survives in business that long at that level is not stupid. I don't care what they say.
He who underestimates President Donald Trump does so at their own peril.
Yeah, just like Lincoln. Everybody in the cabinet thought they were... I know. You don't want me to use those historical analogies. So.
I don't mind.
But, well, that's right. This is Open Mouth Friday. I just hope I don't stick my foot in my mouth. But anyway, you're right. They do so at their peril. I was going to comment about something. Well, you know what they ought to go with as far as that mandate? They ought to go with a floor and a ceiling. You've got to pay out a minimum, and they ought to make it an average of whatever the states are, or wherever those companies are licensed to sell insurance. I'm sure this is regulated at the state level. It was always supposed to be regulated at the state level.
How about if they just let the businesses run as businesses?
Well, there you go. But there's a novel idea. We keep hearing about the free enterprise or the private enterprise. But then again, when they try to do that, the thing is, well, businesses are just out to screw their own customers, and if not downright kill them.
Well, gee, I wonder what the people would say about Congress.
Yeah. I think the biggest irony was when Hillary said, what kind of idiot loses $1 billion? And she was commenting about Trump, and I thought, well, what kind of idiots lose $1 trillion and they blow it off?
Well said, John. Absolutely. Thanks so much for the call. Have yourself a great weekend. 800-923-9385. That's 800-923-WDTK. If you're tuning in expecting to hear something else and you're hearing this, I'll explain that we are doing an early start on Friday, as we do each and every Friday during football season, because we carry Catholic high school football, which we're very happy to bring you. And so we start at 5:30 to make room for their pregame show, which starts right at 6:30. Here's Joe and Romulus on the Patriot. Hi, Joe.
Hi, John. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Good. I have a couple daughters in the medical field, but one of them, her and I were debating the Trump thing last night, and she said, and I don't know if you know this either, do you know that the Senate and the Congress have their own pharmaceutical store?
Oh, yeah, I read about that just the other day.
Yeah, and they pay a flat rate, and it's cheap. But the doctor, she heard, said, you'd be surprised how many of your representatives are on Alzheimer's medication and all kinds of heavy-duty medications that would affect their judgment and their thinking.
Yeah, he was he's probably taking some heat for that, too.
Yeah, but I mean, I just wanted to throw it out there because I thought it was interesting why we pay a fortune for it. They get it for pennies on the dollar, and he said the Alzheimer's people, the people that are taking Alzheimer and all kinds of other meds, he said if the people knew, they would just be outraged and surprised. They'd vote him out. Maybe somehow someone should hack into that thing and let it be made public. Who's taking what?
Oh.
That would be interesting to hear who's on what, and just another reason they're above us and they need to be brought down.
Well, I'm not sure, Joe, if I agree, with publishing their list of medications. I'm not sure that wouldn't be an invasion of privacy. But I'd be very honest with you. I wouldn't want anybody to know all the medications that I'm taking. I'm not taking that many, but I think that's kind of between you and your doctor. Unless, of course, it's affecting your job as Alzheimer's would. And that's got to give you pause to reflect. By the way, I've been informed that 15 states are filing suit. They have no ground. They have no ground to stand on. They're filing suit because they've already spent that subsidy money somewhere else, but they have no ground to stand on. When you get into into case law, you got to have something to fall back on, and eventually they have to fall back on the Constitution. And so they can file suit all day long. They're doing it for show. They're trying to cover for the fact that they've spent that money elsewhere. Trust me. Paul of Waterford, you're next on the Patriot. Go ahead. I'm sorry? What'd you say, Tiffany? Oh, okay. Well, not yet. I got 7 seconds before I have to do this. Oh, okay. I'll just go ahead and do it now. You're listening to FM 101.5 and AM 1400, The Patriot, WDTK, Detroit. Paul, go ahead.
Hey, John. John, just calling about the Las Vegas thing. I'm wondering if you're smelling a rat on that whole thing.
Something is amiss out there. Something is very, very wrong. I'm not going to try to predict what it is, but there's something very, very wrong.
Yeah, like just a couple of quick points. All the thing on multiple shooters, the timeline on the security guard, the house got broken into, but nothing got taken. But we're going to go investigate it again. Maybe they need to look at what got put in there. I'm wondering. It's a hot mess, that's for sure.
And if you read Pam Geller, the teller of truth about what's happening with Islam in our country and elsewhere, you'd find out that there's a whole cadre of people who swear up and down that the guy was radicalized. And you're not hearing anything about that either.
Yeah, it's and boy, somebody's covering their tracks on it. You know, the one good thing about it, though, is there's a different sheriff in town in Washington D.C. So maybe they won't get away with it this time.
Let's hope. Let's hope we get to the bottom of it, because right now, after this length of time, we should know, and we don't. And we don't. Everybody leaves a trail. And I don't care how good they are or how bad they are. They leave a trail. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate the call. Thanks for bringing it up, because I've been bothered by it too. We should have the answers. We should have them now. Here's an anonymous caller from West Bloomfield. You don't have to do that. You can give any kind of name you want. Nobody will know the difference.
True. Okay, so I'd like to take your answer off the air, but when with congressmen like John McCain making all these, like, saying, well, I'm not going to sign my name to this, I'm not going to sign my name to this. He's the one person that is in the position to help make it something that he would sign his name to. Why isn't that his job? Isn't that his position that he's been elected for?
But he is committed to the failure of President Trump. So
correct. And I'm wondering what my question is why pundits such as yourself that aren't calling him out on that and saying, hey, this is like just putting him on the spot and calling him out for being so obvious about it. I mean,
I have called him out, and I wouldn't consider myself a pundit, but I have called him out on numerous occasions, and I've been rather nasty about it. But you can only I just can't sit here and call names and write letters and send emails. The guy pays no attention to anybody but himself. It's all he cares about is himself. He is a war hero, I give him that, but he's old. He's got brain cancer, and he should go home. It's as simple as that. He's not being useful to the forward motion of the United States of America, and he's not representing the voters of his state. So for those reasons, I think he should just go home, and I wish he would. Appreciate your call. Thanks for calling. And if you listen to the show all the time, people will back me up on this. I've been anti-John McCain for a long time. Been anti-Mitch McConnell for a long time. But how much calling out can you do? Especially if you can't do anything about it, except call it out. Hope I'm making myself clear, Mr. Anonymous, and change your name. Use a fake name. We don't care. You can use your real name because nobody will recognize your voice unless you're Bruce from Grosse Pointe Farms. And then you will get your voice recognized. 800-923-9385. That's 800-923-WDTK. This is Open Mouth Friday. And if you're just tuning in, we've been underway for half an hour. So if you're going to get in, better think about doing it soon at 800-923-9385. That's 800-923-WDTK here on FM 101.5 and AM 1400, The Patriot. Felix Cruz at the Cruz hearing and I are going to have a long talk when he gets back, and he'll be back fairly soon. He's been off on an extended vacation, although the office is fully staffed. You can still call there. But one of the things we're going to be talking about is a new kind of digital hearing instrument that's reasonably new. It's like hours old, that supposedly takes all of the things that people have had against getting their hearing corrected and gets rid of them. It's like the introduction of stereo versus the 78 record. Now, what I have is really good. At least I think it's really good. I think I get very clear hearing. I'm able to drown out background noise if I go to restaurants and focus on the people I'm with. I don't hear a lot of weird noises when I'm out in traffic and so forth. It's just like having real hearing, but enhanced in order to make it so that I can hear it. But I can't wait to talk about the new stuff. And one thing I know is that I can sit down and talk to Felix about it, and he's not going to try to hammer me and hard close me to try to get me to do something I'm not ready to do. That's just the way they are at Cruz Hearing. Folks, the hardest part is making the call, but if you've got a hearing problem, do it for the people around you, because they're the ones that really have to suffer with it. And I can't believe the years that my wife suffered with me saying, "What?" and "Repeat that, please," and "Excuse me." And I was doing it all the time. I had the TV turned up to, plaster cracking levels, and she put up with it. But then I finally got convinced to make the call, kicking and screaming. You should do the same thing. Believe me, you'll love the people at Cruz Hearing. And again, there's no pressure. 877-456-CRUISE. That's 877-456-2789. 877-456-2789. And please mention the John McCulloch Show when you call.
Now, on-time traffic, news, and weather on The Patriot.
I-94 eastbound after West Grant Boulevard, accident 2 left lanes slow from Michigan Avenue. I-275 northbound after 8 Mile, accident right shoulder. I-275 northbound ramp to I-96 westbound, an accident working there. 696 eastbound between Coolidge and Campbell Hilton, the left lane closed for construction. Traffic is slowing from M10. Hines Drive between Outer Drive and Ann Arbor Trail has been reopened. It had been closed for a couple of days due to flooding from the rain we had earlier in the week. I-75 northbound between Clay and 8 Mile, we have heavy traffic as usual there. I-75 northbound between 696 and 12 miles heavy, and I-75 northbound between M59 and Jocelyn Road, also heavy traffic. And 75 southbound between 14 Mile and 11 Mile is heavy, and 75 southbound between Grand River Avenue and I-96, the Jeffries downtown, is also heavy. Your weather forecast tonight: showers likely after 2 a.m., partly cloudy, a low around 56. Saturday, showers likely, cloudy with a high near 71. Saturday night, a chance of showers, cloudy with a low around 66. Right now, 69 degrees. From the townhall.com newsroom, Michigan residents who get their insurance through the Affordable Care Act will pay the price for President Trump's decision today to stop subsidies that help low-wage people. The decision will mean higher rates next year for as many as half of the 320,000 state residents with individual or small group Obamacare plans. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan had already decided to raise rates next year by 14% to 27%, but the company says those increases could be even higher if subsidies are discontinued. Blue Cross Blue Shield says the company will stay in the insurance exchange next year. A Northfield Township official wants the state police to shut down their gun range after a bullet struck a nearby house. Township Manager Chip Snyder says it's the third such incident in a year, so he's asking lawmakers to help him get the range behind the police lab on 7 Mile Road closed. I'm Kevin Sanderson on The Patriot, FM 101.5 at AM 1400.
The John McCulloch Show is sponsored in part by Greg Chiropractic Life Centers.
Open Mouth Friday here on the Patriot, and here is Cyril in Southfield on the Patriot. Hi, Cyril.
Thank you for taking my call, Mr. McCulloch. One more, and hopefully the last comment on the flag protests. The contrived and disjointed nature of the protests is evident from the way in which stated rationale for them shifted virtually week to week. First, it was white police killing black citizens. Then, as public disapproval of the disrespect grew, it became the original lyrics of the anthem. Then it was the president's profanity. Then it was general injustice based on culture and white privilege. Then it was full cycle back to white police and black citizens. Such foundational variability is indicative of protest for protest's sake. Yet, in the offices of the leftocrat strategists, there may glimmer the hope that, unlike the statue burning and the tomb raiding before it, the flag protest may return a rapidly cooling pot to boiling, convince the young that contempt for one's country is cool, and coax pro-Trump minorities back into the leftocrat fold. It doesn't seem to be going in that direction. Now, one question for you. Is there such a thing in this country as Asian privilege? Since the last I've heard, the Asian Americans, that group, are rated highest in societal success.
Cyril, that is a question that I cannot answer, but I am certainly going to investigate, because Asians continually and you know they outperform in the fields of engineering, in the fields of restaurant management, in the field. I mean, when they come over here penniless, they don't usually go out that way, and they don't get any help from anybody. And maybe they get a little help from their families. I don't know. But they are definitely outperforming, and there must be Asian privilege there somewhere, and I'm going to find out about it. Thank you for the idea, and thank you for your analysis of what's going on with the football thing. And the bottom line is it's killing the NFL, and maybe it's time for it to go. I hate to see it happen. It used to be one of my favorite things to do on the weekend, but I'm finding I'm reading a lot more and finding a lot more things to do that actually benefit me rather than get me all hyped up when certain quarterbacks don't do a good job, or certain running backs don't, or certain pass receivers don't. So in any case, Cyril, thanks for the call. I do appreciate it. We'll check out Asian privilege. I think it could be a very real thing, one worthy of protest. I don't know how you would start it, and I don't know who you'd get to join you, but well, that's a subject for another day. 800-923-9385. Open Mouth Friday here on the McCulloch Show with Aaron in Huntington Woods on the Patriot. Go ahead, Aaron.
Hi, John. I know that, you said it would be illegal for somebody to hack Congress's medical records to find out what the heck those people are prescribed on. And let me tell you, we're stuff at the hash bash. So, but anyhow, the one thing about that is that while they have those nice privileges, Obamacare also put all of our medical records into a big collective juicy target there for hackers someplace in D.C. with some cybersecurity expert with a music degree and one eye open that could pretty much screw us all over at any one time. So at the same time, I just sort of thought that it really wouldn't bother me too much if they did get hacked, so we could find out what the heck they're taking, because we're already a target as taxpayers, and we have been in so many other ways through their malfeasance and just abject neglect of their duty to secure information.
Yeah, and then you look at the IRS. Who do they look for to take over their verification process? Well, you want to go to the company that just got hacked and lost the records of 140 million people, don't you? You got to get Equifax in there. I mean, it's beyond belief. The fact that people didn't see in advance that taking all that information and putting it in the cloud or in the various places that it's stored without having really hardcore plans for security was one of the stupidest things we've ever done. Now, you look at the things, I mean, you will not be able to buy a gallon of gas if the internet goes down. And we're so dependent on it. Now the government wants to get in there and regulate it, which would be a complete disaster. This net neutrality thing is a joke. I'm agreeing with you, Aaron, in what you're saying, basically, in that it's hard to believe that the amount of information, our personal information, that is actually contained in that entity that 17 years ago wasn't there. And it's a little scary. 800-923-9385. That's 800-923-WDTK. Let's talk with Bob in Roseville on the Patriot. Hey, Bob, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, John. Two things about the Las Vegas thing that I didn't understand. One is I've never heard, and maybe I just missed it, how many people were actually injured by the shooting and how many of them were injured by, saying, gotten stepped on or trampled or something like that.
To the best of my knowledge, Bob, that has not come out. I don't know.
The other amazing thing to me is that, normally when you hear about this many people being shot, that nobody other than the original 58 have passed. I mean, it's a good thing, don't get me wrong, but it's just amazing that, you would think that with all those injuries that, there would have been other deaths. And it seemed like that 58 count is the one that stuck. So those are two things that really bothered me. And the other thing, too, is I agree with you the other day, hard work is a key to success.
No. Bob, have you ever published that idea? That's incredible. You mean if I go out and put my nose to the grindstone, work hard, work honest, have loyalty to my business and to my employees and to my boss and to my investors and all, that there was a chance that I would succeed in the world?
I would hope so. Yeah,
well, you should write a book, is what you should do. Or get a TV show. Oh, wait, we've already done that. Bob, thanks for the call.
Take it easy.
Have yourself a great weekend. 800-923-9385. That's 800-923-WDTK. This is Open Mouth Friday here on the McCulloch Show, and we have a couple of lines open at 800-923-9385. If you hurry, here on FM 101.5 at AM 1400, The Patriot. Dr. James Gregg is a chiropractor. He's founder of the Gregg Chiropractic Life Centers. They are located in Garden City and in Troy. And Dr. Gregg wants to tell you about what chiropractic is all about, which he does twice a week, on Monday in Troy and on Wednesday in Garden City at an event he calls the Doctor's Report, where he sits down with people who are inquisitive, people who are questioning, and people who actually have heard bad things about chiropractic and want to come and find out if they're true. Because, I mean, if you look around you, thousands of your friends and neighbors and acquaintances and people around you are getting relief from chiropractic. And there's a reason for that. And you might want to find out what that reason is by going to the Doctor's Report at Dr. Gregg's office. There's no obligation. He's obviously not going to pressure you, but he will tell you about chiropractic, and then he'll quiet down himself and let you ask questions. You can ask questions that you might think would be embarrassing questions. He does not care. He wants to answer the questions so you have all the information from the horse's mouth. Now, understand that it is your pain, so I think it's your obligation to get the answers yourself. Get the answers from the horse's mouth. Easy to do. Just call and let them know you're coming. And it's real easy to reach them. 734-525-8422 for either office. 734-525-8422. Somebody called last night, needed the number repeated to them, and you don't really need to do that. Just go to patriotdetroit.com, go to my jump page, and boom, you're there. All the numbers of the advertisers are listed there, plus links to their websites. 734-525-8422 for Greg Chiropractic Life Centers, and please let Dr. Greg know that you heard about it on the John McCulloch Show.
Now, on-time traffic and weather on the Patriot.
I-696 westbound before I-75, an accident in the two right lanes, also blocking the end of the Cousins Ramp lane to 696 westbound, slow from DeQuinder. I-94 eastbound after West Grand Boulevard, accident two left lanes, slowing from Rotunda. I-275 northbound after 8 Mile, accident right shoulder. I-275 northbound ramp to I-96 westbound, an accident working there. 696 eastbound between Coolidge and Campbell Hilton, the left lane closed for construction, slowing from M10. Greenfield both ways between 9 Mile and 696 down to one lane for concrete slab replacement. That work continues there. Your weather forecast, tonight showers likely after 2 a.m., partly cloudy, a low around 56. Saturday showers likely, cloudy with a high near 71. Saturday night, a chance of showers, cloudy with a low around 66. Right now, it's 69 degrees. I'm Kevin Sanderson on the Patriot, FM 101.5 and AM 1400.
Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free. Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But the secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Pick up your phone and call right now. 800-978-3908. 800-978-3908. 800-978-3908. Once again, that's 800-978-3908.
The John McCulloch Show is brought to you in part by Dr. Richard Klein at the Michigan Head and Neck Institute.
Here's Alan in Heartland on Open Mouth Friday. Hi, Alan. Go ahead.
Hi, John. Good afternoon. John, I run a super PAC called People in Politics. We're a pro-Trump, conservative, value-based PAC. And I wanted to just mention the Unified Tax Plan. And I don't know, a lot of your listeners probably, we voted for Trump early on because he could change the economy, especially the economy in Michigan. And, we've heard so much about the tax plan indirectly through news and media. I just wanted to encourage the listeners to actually go and download the Unified Tax Plan Summary from the Ways and Means website and read for yourself the 9 points that really make sense and that can affect our lives here in Michigan, reducing taxes and stimulating business. Just to point out the small business tax reduction and also our doubling of exemptions for kind of the middle of the tax bracket people. So I just maybe wanted to hear your comments on that.
No, I agree. I think people should become familiar with it because what's going to happen is that the economy is going to explode and the revenue is just going to be bulging in Washington when this thing passes, if it passes. And it'll pay for itself, and it makes sense, and the engine will get going again, and people will be working again. It'll actually be okay to have a job because you'll be making more than you can get on welfare. And it's a marvelous plan. It takes into account Middle America and the way that we have been really subdued by the taxes and then the complication of preparing them. But it's No, I agree, and people should do what you just said, Alan, and I hope they do. Thank you very much for the call. Here's Bob in Roseville on the Patriot. Bob, I got 60 seconds for you.
Yeah, this is a response to the other Bob from Roseville. The sheriff announced in Las Vegas that there are at least 40 or so people still in the hospital, some of them in critical condition, and they could still pass. So that answers him. And secondly, I got a guy at work that's got the perfect bumper sticker. It says, annoy a liberal, get a job, work hard, be happy.
Well, you're right, because if you look at most liberals, including the ones who continue to text me here on at the station, they're always frowning. They're always mad. They've always got to be upset about something, and it's weird. How do you wake up in the morning with somebody who looks like they just swallowed a lemon all the time? It baffles me.
Are you hiring? Do you know where to post your job to find the best candidates? Posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates. If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites. And now you can. With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 100-plus job sites, including social media networks like Facebook and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any city or industry nationwide. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll in to ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. No juggling emails or calls to your office. Quickly screen candidates, rate them, and hire the right person fast. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 400,000 businesses. And right now, listeners can try ZipRecruiter for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/America. That's ZipRecruiter.com/America. One more time. To try it for free, go to ZipRecruiter.com/America.
You've heard about the good night's sleep that I'm getting and when all these other people around you are getting, and you know you want it, and now's the best time to get it. Go to MyPillow.com and use the promo code WDTK. You'll get 2 MyPillows for the price of 1. That's MyPillow.com, promo code WDTK. 2 MyPillows for the price of 1, and you too can start sleeping the way nature intended.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Promo code WDTK. Here's Donna in Warren on the Patriot. Hi, Donna. Thanks for hanging on, and go ahead.
Hi. I just have a quick question. I was wondering, like the people, Kathy Griffin, people that were, she was holding his head up, the people that were stabbing Donald Trump on a stage, the rappers that were shooting him. What is going on with any of these people? Are the Secret Services going to their house? Because I know they did that when a couple of rappers did that with Obama, and on Facebook when they did that to Obama, and there was a couple put in jail. What is going on with any of these people instead of people just laughing, going, nothing's going to happen, and he's our president of the United States, but nothing happened to any of them?
We don't know that. We don't know that they weren't contacted, but if you take the rappers seriously, boy, you're really a worrywart, Donna. And if you take Kathy Griffin seriously, you're really out there on the fringe. But they should take it seriously, don't get me wrong. And if they haven't been contacted, they should. But again, I think the Secret Service has bigger fish to fry. I'm not sure. Let me see if I can find out and announce it at a future time. How's that? Thanks for your call. Appreciate your participating tonight. Thank you to Tiffany Little for providing the studio technician duties tonight, and a couple of duties that aren't listed on the studio technician's job description. Steve Dealey is our producer. Thank you for listening, and thank you for calling, and thank you for texting, and thank you for watching. Stay tuned for Catholic High School football pregame. I'm John McCulloch. Please have as good a weekend as you can.
The John McCulloch Show is sponsored in part by Dr. Richard Klein of Michigan Head and Neck, Greg Chiropractic Life Center, AzerTech Public Adjusters, Cruise Hearing Aid Centers. The John McCulloch Show on the new FM 101.5 and AM 1400.
You can't handle the truth.
The Patriot.
This is Albert Mohler for Townhall.com. The United States recently witnessed a tragic example of hypocrisy in high office on the question of the sanctity of human life. Pennsylvania Republican Congressman Tim Murphy has a voting pattern of defending the sanctity of human life, and only lately was amongst those who voted to ban abortion after 20 weeks. However, court proceedings revealed that when Congressman Murphy discovered that his mistress may be expecting a child, he repeatedly suggested that she abort the unborn baby. The political pressure became increasingly heavy after the revelation. Initially, Representative Murphy announced that he would retire at the end of his term. Subsequently, he told Speaker of the House Paul Ryan that he would resign effective October the 21st. This kind of hypocrisy at this level on the question of the sanctity of human life is not only immoral, it's downright deadly. Day by day, vote by vote, headline by headline, America's soul on the question of the dignity and sanctity of human life is becoming more apparent. I'm Albert Mohler.
The Patriot, FM 101.5, AM 1400, WDTK, Detroit. The Salem Media Group, on the NASDAQ as SALM. The Patriot, FM 101.5, AM 1400, WDTK, Detroit. The Salem Media Group, on the NASDAQ as SALM. It's time for the Catholic High School League Football Game of the Week on The Patriot. Each week, we'll bring you the best of the Catholic High School League games. Join us for live play-by-play coverage each week this fall. The CHSL Game of the Week is proudly sponsored by Siena Heights University, Roy O'Brien Ford, Alliance Catholic Credit Union, Lou LaRich Chevrolet, Madonna University, Viviano Flower Shop, Anvil Law, BSN Sports, and Ave Maria Mutual Funds.
Welcome, everyone, to Rynearson Stadium on the campus of Eastern Michigan University. It's Week 8 here in the high school football season. Jeremy Ed alongside Sean Beligian to bring the call. It's the UD Jesuit Cubs facing the home squad here today, the Fighting Irish of Ann Arbor Gabriel Richard. A huge game in the Catholic League, the most important as far as Prep Bowl standings. The winner of this will go to the Prep Bowl Championship.
Well, that's why we're here, and that's why we're at Rynearson Stadium as well. It's just such a beautiful facility out here, Jeremy.
Absolutely. We'll toss it to the stadium for our national anthem. So just about 5 minutes away from kickoff here today, Sean, and these are two teams obviously in a little bit of a different situation. UD fighting for their state playoff lives. Ann Arbor Richard has already clinched that with 6 wins. They lost for the first time last week versus Divine Child, both pretty good football clubs.
Yeah, and you had a chance to see Gabriel Richard last week, and this is my first opportunity seeing UD, and you mentioned it. Listen, desperation causes for unique circumstances, doesn't it? And that's what the Cubbies are up against tonight. They have to find a way to get in. Jeremy, I got the feeling they're going to bring the A game tonight.
Absolutely. They need to win here tonight for a couple of reasons, to get into the prep ball and to try to get closer to a state playoff berth as well. You obviously need 5 wins to get that, only coming in at 3 and 4 coming into today. The opening kickoff when we get back here on The Patriot.
The CHSL pregame show is sponsored by Lou LaRich Chevrolet.
Lou LaRich Chevrolet is proud to sponsor the CHSL Game of the Week. At Lou LaRich Chevrolet, we have a great selection of GM-certified pre-owned vehicles. All have gone through a 172-point inspection, are cleaned up, gassed up, and ready for immediate delivery. Plus, we have over 600 new vehicles in stock, so we're bound to have what you're looking for. We're located at the corner of Plymouth and Haggerty Roads in Plymouth. Open late Mondays and Thursdays, and open Saturdays for sales and service. Call toll-free 877-55-CHEVY. Save money when you make the switch to LaRich.
Are you interested in finding a high school that helps students prepare for college and life with an education that's both scholarly and spiritual? Divine Child is a Catholic co-ed high school with faith formation and theology programs, over 35 honors and AP courses, nationally recognized fine arts programs, and a new state-of-the-art athletic complex. Learn more at our open house on Sunday, November 5th, or visit divinechildhighschool.org. Divine Child, where students learn responsibility, leadership, and faith in action.
The CHSL Game of the Week continues next.
Madonna University is focused on student success in the classroom and on the playing field. Students participate in 19 sports teams, including baseball, softball, basketball, track, golf, soccer, bowling, and volleyball. Teamwork, combined with hands-on experience in the classroom, will prepare you for a career after college. Visit madonna.edu to learn more. Madonna University. Our degrees change lives.
Well, did you know there's a credit union that's Catholic? That's right, Alliance Catholic Credit Union. They have savings accounts, free checking, low-rate loans, a great mobile app, everything you need to manage your money, and they're Catholic too. They're actively involved supporting Catholic schools, organizations, and parishes throughout the Archdiocese and beyond. So if you're a Catholic anywhere in Michigan, put your money where your faith is. Join Alliance Catholic Credit Union. Visit AllianceCCU.com to get started. That's AllianceCCU.com. Jeremy Idle and Sean Belegian back with you here from Rynearson Stadium, just a couple minutes away from kickoff. We thank LuLaRich Chevrolet for their sponsorship of our pregame show as always. We also thank Madonna University for their sponsorship of our starting lineups as well. When you look at it, there's one man that certainly stands out on both sidelines. That's number 4, Elijah Collins, heading to Michigan State next year, Sean.
Yeah, that's a guy. I mean, everybody's been talking about him, and for good reason. And you know, Jeremy, for me, I've only seen the highlights. This is my first time seeing the game action this week and seeing what Mr. Collins is all about.
Looks like the Cubs will receive to start the game here today. They will return it just in front of the left end zone here on the gray turf.
There's that baby powder again. We saw that a few weeks ago.
The whiteout.
Yeah.
It's another whiteout here, but they're not wearing white.
I don't get the whole baby powder thing.
At least we can't smell it this time, right?
Thank goodness for that.
Last time we were right on top of it.
I love going downriver. That's honestly, that's one of my favorite venues. But let me tell you something. That baby powder was all about our broadcast booth when we were there a couple weeks back. So you keep your little baby powder elsewhere, please.
So waiting the clock to pretty much expire. They went a little bit early with the national anthem, but we're just about ready to go here tonight. Gabriel Richard in their alternate black.
That is a sharp jersey. That needs to be pointed out. Folks, all black jersey with kind of that Irish green, dare I say, a Kelly green outlined in white. It's a sharp look.
UD on the other side in their white and maroon. Opening kickoff is driven to the 7-yard line. Collins wants to take it out. Makes a cut at the 20. Trying to chug up to the 26-yard line and taken down there by the Irish fairly quickly. Nice tackle upfield to minimize what is a great returner for UD.
Yeah, so this will be interesting. Let's see right away. I expect UD to kind of set the tempo here, Jeremy. This is what we're going to do today. So let's see if that's their mission plan.
It's number 13, Walt Reynolds, who will trot onto the field, the senior quarterback. This is his first year at the quarterback position, more of a wideout and a defensive back. That's what he'll play at the next level. But he has continued to develop as the season has went on, and he hopes that he can spend his senior year in the state playoffs once again. He's out there in the pistol. Couple wide receivers to the far side here for the Cubs as they move left to right. First play is a handoff to Collins. Looks to barrel across the right side. He's up to the numbers right on the 30 for a gain of 4 on first down.
A good run there. There wasn't a lot there, so what he tried to do is he just tried to follow the edge, and the edge kept moving with him. And, Jeremy, they eventually marked him down at about the 31-yard line because that young man kept his feet moving, kind of leaned into the left end. The right end, as it were.
More of a gain of 5 as they get him a good spot up to the 31-yard line here on the near hash. UD runs that no huddle, kind of the slow no huddle, though, as they look to the sideline for the play call. Trips to the far side, couple men in the slot just behind the line. Reynolds wants to throw a screen, and that ball is tipped in and out of the hands of his intended wide receiver at the 30-yard line. Looking for Jones on that far sideline. 3rd and 5 coming up with 11:09 to go in the first.
Give credit to the Irish defense. They smelled that out. I think the quarterback would have been a lot better served just to throw that ball at his feet because he was risking getting his receiver killed there.
So Reynolds still out there in the pistol. Couple wide receivers aside. He'll spark to the line to give them instructions here. Big Gabriel Richard crowd on the near sideline. This is their homecoming contest here tonight. Reynolds Going to look downfield, nothing there. Going to tuck it off for himself and try to run it in between the hash marks. And he is bottled up after a gain of about 1. Nice job by Father Gabriel Richard to get up. That looked like Nick Brookins, the senior defensive back, along the left side, and it's 4th and 4.
You see what the Irish backers did? They stayed home. They just stayed home. You know, you had the scout on the quarterback. It looked like a keeper, so they stayed home. Therefore, there wasn't a lot of room to operate.
So Gabriel Richard will get it just a minute and a half into this first quarter of play. Gabriel Richard brought pressure. Gilroy will pipe this one to the 38-yard line, and fair caught there on the near sideline by Andrew Kinzicki. That is the man that we believe will come out at the quarterback position. They suffered an injury last week to their starter in Michael Engelhardt. Maybe a broken collarbone for him, so that's a tough loss for this Gabriel Richard squad.
Yeah, it looks like Kinzicki's leading them on the field. Interesting scenario. Your quarterback is also returning punts back there. How about that? Now, he didn't return that one. He just called for the fair catch. But, Jeremy, you are correct. There is lining up in the backfield.
2 of 8 on the year for 12 yards. Didn't throw it a lot last week. Had 6 attempts coming into that Divine Child game. They look to Hill on the first play as he moves between the hash marks across the 40 up to the 41-yard line. A gain of 2, 2nd and 8 here for the Irish with 10:17 to go in the first.
Very early in this one, but the defenses are making their presence be known. Make no mistake about that.
Right to left, move the men in black here. They send trips to the far side. Kinzicki is out there in the shotgun. Hill straight behind him. Camps out at the 34-yard line. Cubs may bring blitz here. It's a screen to the right. It's caught on the far sideline. And Brookins will be driven back after a gain about 3 up to the 45, right in front of the UD bench. He's a good 3 yards shy of the first down.
Jeremy, I think that's smart defensively by Coach Olenichek and the Cubbies. You know what? You have an inexperienced quarterback in there, right? So you know what you do? You load the box and you throw. We dare you. Go ahead. We double Cubby dare you to throw the ball.
3rd and a long 3 here in a scoreless game in the first quarter.
I pronounced Olenichek right, too, right?
You did.
Okay.
Handoff to Hill. Hill with some extra momentum as he crosses the 45-yard line, able to push it back past midfield into Cub territory at the 48. Looked like an arm tackle there by the Cubs at the 45-yard line. Hill's going to explode through that every time.
That is a good, hard run. And Chris Hill is not the biggest guy out there. He's listed at 5'8". He looks a lot smaller, but he runs hard.
18 carries for 73 yards last week. Has over 600 yards and 12 touchdowns on the year. A fake by Kinzicki. He's rolling right across the 40-yard line to the 20, inside of the 15. And how about that fake by Kinzicki? Drew everyone to the middle off the fake to Hill, moved to the outside, and was able to gain a first down plus many more.
Well, this is the commentator's worst fear come alive. I have to repeat what you just said. It all starts with the quarterback. He sold that, absolutely sold that. Everybody, including I think 4 eyes up here, went right to the running back, and that gave him that lane to the outside, taking it all the way down to the 19. Jeremy, you nailed it. All about the quarterback selling that.
And without your starter, those are the plays that you're going to have in this game. Maybe a little trickeration all throughout. 2 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Hill gets the handoff up the middle, and he is met at the line of scrimmage. Nice job by the defensive front there by the Cubs to bottle it up right away. Looked like Carlos Vettorello leading the charge. He's quite the talented player. Going to be a D1 player before things are said and done at the end of this season. No gain, 2nd and 10 inside the 20-yard line.
Well, I have a feeling that when the night's over, Andrew Kinzicki's going to run about 3 times further than anybody else because between every play, he's running to the near sideline to get the play from his coaching staff.
Hill's still that lone back behind Kinzicki in the pistol. They want to screen left. Now it's just a keep for Kinzicki, and he is, again, met at the line of scrimmage. Cubs read that well, and they did a good job to clog up the middle as well. That's Kremhelmer, a young freshman who made that tackle.
I'm impressed by the poise of this young Andrew Kinzicki, who, again, is forced into action as the quarterback. Jeremy, smart play there. It wasn't there. Yeah. So you know what? Just tuck it up under, see what you can get. And you know what? If you get no gain, fine. It's better than throwing the ball into a place it shouldn't be going to.
3rd and 11 in a scoreless game. Here's the ball is marked just before the 20-yard line. with 7:09 to play in the first quarter. Kinzicki rolling right, looks for a man on that far sideline. A couple yards shy of the first down was that target. Dives and cannot make the play as it skips on the far track just in front of some of the stands over there. Good coverage by the Cubs. It was pretty much double coverage on that far side and a sandwich play for UD.
Yeah, so this is going to be about a 37-yard field goal attempt by Ethan Sendo.
So Sendo's going to kick this one forward on the far hash with the clock stopped at 7:03. Sendo, the right-footed kicker. The snap is down. The kick is spinning through the air, and it is good. He nails a long field goal here in quarter number 1 with 6:58 to go. 3-0 Gabriel Richard.
Well, a nice drive that, Jeremy, one run, one great play action fake. Keeper, he sold it all the way, and that puts you in the position where you could strike first. So they do, and certainly the pro-Irish crowd here appreciates it.
It's another Roy O'Brien score. Scores some of the best steals around at 9 Mile and Mac. Well, we have a second. Let's tell you about BSN Sports. It was founded in 1972 as a factory direct equipment company. It's the largest distributor of team sports apparel and equipment in the United States. We are your ultimate teamwear outfitter of Nike, Under Armour, and other national brands. Whether you're an athlete or coach from grade school to college, we are here to outfit you in the best way possible. BSN Sports is the official outfitter of the Catholic High School League Game of the Week. So 3-0. Father Gabriel Richard here with 6:58 remaining in the first quarter. UD went 3 and out. Gabriel Richard able to salvage a field goal off a nice run by Kinzicki, which got him in that position just outside of the 34-yard line. Sendo leaning in on this one. Going to angle it to the near sideline. That one's going to go out of bounds and draw a penalty flag.
Well, you get what he's trying to do there. You try to keep it away from the weapon that is number 4, Elijah Collins. But at the same time, that's not what you want to do. You don't want to send it out of bounds. And, this is a situation where UAD is going to be set up at the 35-yard line. Jeremy, they got to get the offense going.
They huddle up on that far sideline at about the 25-yard line as they break now. Ball is spotted on the far side of the field. It's a very heavy Gabriel Richard seating here to our left. The Cubs fans to our right. Pretty big student section as well here for homecoming. Walt Reynolds is back out there. A couple men to his right. The lone back behind him is Collins. He's going to fake it. Reynolds has it to the far side, hops over a defender at the 40-yard line, propels himself to the first down marker at the 45 to the 46. Nice dash by Reynolds across the far side.
Yeah, good vision. He could see that they really loaded up the near side of the line. So what did he do? He went the other way, and there weren't as many bodies there, so he was able to navigate his way down, all the way down to the 45-yard line, and a Cubby first down.
Reynolds going through the signals with the coaches on the far sideline here. Moves back to the pistol. He has 2 wide receivers to his right, 1 to the far side in front of the own UD bench. Again, he's going to take it for himself as he scrambles for 2 yards on first down, just shy of midfield to the 48-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that time he didn't fool anybody, Jeremy. He faked that handoff, and he just dove for whatever he could get out there. So that's not a bad idea. When you figure out, okay, I didn't fool anybody, you try to make the most of it, and I think that's exactly what he did there, picking up about almost 3 yards.
So 2nd and 7. Reynolds is back to pass. He was rolling right, has some good protection, throws downfield, hits his man here on the near sideline. That's complete to Carson Hinton as he rolls out of bounds just shy of the 40. Another first down here for UD. This is the drive they needed.
Good job by the sophomore getting that back foot in, huh? Pass came to the near sideline. I thought that it was going to be incomplete, but Hinton kind of reached out, made the grab, and you could see him just kind of leave that back leg out there for the first down.
Hinton, a solid player on the offensive and defensive side of the football here for UD. Stops the clock at 5:58 with the roll out of bounds and a 3-0 game in favor of the Fighting Irish. Another fake handoff to Collins. Reynolds trying to juke some on the outside, maybe a few too many across the left side of the line. Is able to skip forward for about 3 on first down.
Boy, does he run hard?
He does.
Man, he runs hard. You know, he gets low and he's like, I know I'm going to get hit, but I'm going to pick up as many yards as I can. I really like the way this young man, Walter Reynolds, is running right now.
Trips to the near side now for this Cub offense. On a 2nd and a short 7. Throws down the field way wild to the right of Hinton. He was at about the near hash, and that ball nearly to the numbers.
Yeah, happy feet. You see him hopping back there? He's kind of hopping. He liked the play call. He had a man open in the near flat, but you're not going to complete a lot of passes when you're kind of hopping up and down, and I think that's what Reynolds did. Stay within yourself. Stay composed. That's an easy 5-yard gain there.
3rd down and 7. The Irish fans to their feet, looking for a big 3rd down stop. Reynolds backing up, throwing across the near sideline. It's Hinton. His route was shy of the first down marker, and a good pursuit by Alexander Winnie here on the near sideline. Will meet him a good 2.5 yards shy of the first down.
All right, Coach Otto, what are you doing here?
I think you gamble.
I'm with you. Go for it. 4th and 2 at the 32-yard line. I think you've had minimal success running the ball, but you know what? All you need is minimal success for the first down. I go for it here.
4th down and about 2 to go. The offense is staying out there. Man leading to the near sideline is Nolan Kimmy. He'll be what looks like a lone wide receiver out wide. Reynolds is going to line under center in the I formation. Not before a timeout here by the Cubs. You want to talk it over with 4:42 remaining in the first shot.
I was going to say, Jeremy, I think Coach Olenichuk heard you and I say go for it, so he's going to reconsider it and probably punt it. If we're saying go for it, that's probably the wrong move. But, no, you know what, Jeremy, I love the call. Why not? It's only 3-0. You've got about 2 yards to go. Jeremy, as you look where they spotted the ball on that 3rd down play, it is about 2 yards. You're talking about 6 feet. I think your quarterback has shown in this drive alone, once again, Walter Reynolds, I think he's shown that if he takes it over the left side of the line, there's been some room out there. It's only 3-4 yards, but again, you only need 2 yards here.
Now, students appreciate numbers when it comes to test scores, Instagram followers, or game results, but what about their money? Alliance Catholic Credit Union, a proud sponsor of the Catholic High School League, provides everything young people need to build good financial habits, from savings accounts to report card rewards to financial literacy programs. They'll build numbers that start today and last for years to come. Visit AllianceCCU.com to open an account. That's AllianceCCU.com. You're Catholic, but is your credit union? 4th and 2 here for UD with 4:42 to go in a 3-0 first quarter in favor of the home squad. Reynolds under center. He's in the eye. Looks to hand it off to the deep back. That is Collins, and Collins is pushed back. A huge stop for the Fighting Irish across the defensive line. They had the solid surge to the left, and that was maybe a little bit too predictable as it's taken back at the 34-yard line.
I'm with you there. I mean, they've had the success going over the left side of the line, and this time they tried the right side of the line, and there was a big surge by the men in black out there. And Jeremy, he wasn't close. He ended up losing about a yard there, almost a yard.
So Kinzicki and company are back out there. Boy, did he have some nice runs in the first drive for Gabriel Richard, which ended up in a field goal. Another fake. Good thing they did fake it because UD read the run to Hill all the way. They had him down in the backfield, but Kinzicki is able to get a yard up to the 35 down the middle of the field.
Yeah, that is a 3-yard gain that has no business being a 3-yard gain. A 2-yard gain. No business being a 2-yard gain.
4:13 to go in the first quarter, still 3-0 in favor of Father Gabriel Richard. They have the football back in their own territory here. 2nd and 8. Kinzicki with an option pitch to the backfield. That's Hill trying to cut to the far side. Hill has some space. He is across the first down marker, it looks like, and there's an extra penalty flag that comes in front of the UD bench as well.
Now that might be a face mask, far side of the field. Nope, they're saying a hold. Saying a hold right at the 43-yard line. There was a mass of humanity there, and I thought I saw Hill's head kind of turn back a little bit. It may have been the jerk of a hold, so that is a big penalty against the Irish.
So backs him up with 3:54 to go in our Catholic High School League football game of the week on WDTK Detroit. Jeremy Mann alongside Sean Beligian to bring you the call here tonight. So glad you could tune in. Broadcasting live here from Rynearson Stadium on the campus of Eastern Michigan University.
Have we been blessed with some good weather this year?
We have. How about it?
Goodness.
Isn't it supposed to be like 76 degrees or something tomorrow?
Yeah.
Crazy.
You know me, I just want the fall. Like the last couple days, that's the fall to me, right? But game night, we'll take this weather.
Kinzicki in the shotgun in a 2nd and 11. Hand off to Hill again. Hill with the shake and bake move. Separates at the 40-yard line. Now back to midfield. Into Cub territory across the 45. Driven to the far side of the field at the 40. And finally the Cubs wrap him up. Hill with his first big gain of the day.
What a dynamo that kid is. I'm telling you, all 5'8" of them, he had 3 guys around him after what was already a pretty good gain at about the 47-yard line, and he cuts it right through the 3 guys to the point where they had to play catch-up and finally bring him down at the 39-yard line.
Well, Hill with 87 carries and 617 yards coming into today, averages 7.1 a carry, 12 touchdowns for a man that's very shifty and speedy. Second straight play to Hill. Explodes to the Cub defense at the 20-yard line and is into the end zone on the S for Eastern Michigan. 2:58 to go. Gabriel Richard with a stranglehold here in the first quarter. It's 10-0.
Well, that'll help the old yards per carry. It's going to be jumping up from 7.1 after those last 2 carries. Jeremy, nothing simple or nothing fancy about that one. Goes over the left line, found a seam and just shot up the middle. Nobody could catch him until the goal line. When somebody finally jumped on his back, by that point in time, it was too late.
Ethan Sendo on to attempt the extra point. He had what was over a 40-yarder to give them a 3-0 lead. The hold is down. The kick is more of a line drive this time, and it is no good as it sweeps to the left. So the score will remain 9-0 in favor of the Irish with 2:58 remaining in the first. You're in a Catholic League Game of the Week on the Patriots. Stick with us.
The Patriots CHSL Football Game of the Week is sponsored by Lou LaRich Chevrolet and Viviano Flower Shop.
Stay on the right track. Our new doors on Mac. Roy O'Brien Pumps and Cars, make your money back.
Macomb County's oldest Ford dealer is renovating.
Same location, but new direction.
We're just a couple of weeks away from welcoming you into our spectacular new facility.
With a new main entrance now on Mack Avenue.
This month we have incentives up to $11,500.
Or available zero-interest financing.
Roy O'Brien has the best deal around.
Coverage of the CHSL Game of the Week continues on the Patriot.
Nine 9-0 is their score. You're in favor of Ann Arbor Gabriel Richard on their homecoming. 2:58 remaining in the first.
A little bit of a surprise so far, Jeremy. I guess I'm surprised that UAD hasn't done more offensively, although in fairness, their last drive they did get to about the 34-yard line. But defensively right now, they don't have a lot of answers for what Gabriel Richard is doing.
Ethan Sendo will send this one to the near sideline. It's Kimmy who looks to break some tackles, makes a cut in front of the 20, is swerving back to the 25-yard line and swallowed up there by Ann Arbor Richard. So the Cubs will take it for the second time here today on the 25-yard line. They did get into Ann Arbor Richard territory out deep at about the 35-yard line, but were caught on a turnover on downs with a run to the right by Elijah Collins.
You know, and I think, Jeremy, to just piggyback on what we were both just saying, you know, the one thing that you have to remember right now, too, is a backup quarterback at the helm right now for the Irish. So Cubbies definitely have to make some adjustment on the defensive side of the ball.
So Walt Reynolds in the offense is back out there. 9-0 Fighting Irish with 2:53 left to go in the first. Single wide receivers on each side here for Reynolds. Cubs have a extra tight end on the right as well. Reynolds has ran it a couple times here today, one for a long first down. Hands it off to Collins on the first play. Looking to cut to the near hash. Not a lot there, though, as he gains 2 on first down, up to the 27-yard line. Good pursuit again. That was Zach Donnellan, the senior defensive lineman up front.
These trenches for the Cubbies are going to have to answer the bell right now because I think on both sides of the ball, it's advantage Irish so far.
You might have to see Reynolds open it up a little bit with the screen game just to get that running offense going.
Elijah Collins, Jeremy, slated to go to Michigan State. Did you watch any college football last weekend?
I did.
Did you? I hear there was a game in Ann Arbor.
There was a big game.
Was there? Do you know who won?
I think